Hey folks, this week I'm going to be working on something a little bit different. Kind of a little bit different. It's still going to be segmented and it's still going to be bowl shaped, but I'm working on an experiment. Come along with me as we figure out how to turn this piece of maple board into an Easter basket. So I've got the wood all milled up. Now I got to start breaking it down into segments. And for this particular bowl, we're going to be doing 24 segments per ring. I've already set up my wedgie sled to have the appropriate angle. So we'll get this thing mounted up and we'll start breaking down some wood a little bit further. How do I say this?
3, 2, 1!
I screwed up. I'm cutting this wood and I'm thinking, man, I didn't think I'd go through this much. I made this piece extra long and it barely had enough room. This width right here, it's 1.4 inches. But you know what? It's supposed to be half that. Maybe a little bit more. 0.8 inches. It's supposed to be just shy of an inch. So yeah, I made this humongous, beautifully cut maple ring. Not getting used. Save it for another one. Glue it up. Although I do have a challenge coming up with Daniel over at Tournage du Bois. Maybe he'll get my accident here. Solid piece of maple. Beautiful ring, 24 segments. Daniel, maybe you're going to get this one. In case we haven't told you, Daniel and I are going to be working on a collaboration here coming up sometime in the near future. And Daniel, I think you're getting this mistake. Calipers are set to 0.8, not 1.4. I think you can see the difference here between the correct one and the mistake. That's what 0.6 inches looks like. Ring 1's done. We're moving on to ring 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just finished cutting all the segments. Not much wood left on that strip. Come over here and we can take a look at what we've got so far. And that's what we're going to have. 6 rings, 24 segments apiece. Next thing is sanding all those individual pieces and then gluing them up into rings. In the meantime, I do have to figure out how I want to do the base. I'm thinking walnut, but I have some Osage orange that's really nice and I think might look nice with this maple. I also have sapele. So I have to noodle it out, figure out which color I want to contrast with that white maple. Here in my pile, this is the maple I was using. I do have some Purple Heart. It's kind of thick though. Bunch of walnut. Here's that Osage orange. I thought I had sapele in there, I don't. So maybe I'm going to roll with the Osage orange. It's a nice heavy wood. And it is a pretty orange, not the yellowy orange. So maybe for the contrast of the maple, we'll roll with that. Now let's get this guy out. Yeah, that is such a pretty piece of wood. I made a couple of, I made a bowl and a vase last year out of some of this wood. And I'll throw a link to those down in the description if you want to see a full Osage orange piece. Came out really nice. So we'll just get this milled up into the bases, watch some walnut fall, and we'll go from there. Is it just me, or has the Type-On 3 become... Has Type-On thinned it out? I don't remember it being this thin. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. It's very watery. So now I'm going to put a 6.5 inch circle on here so I can cut this base out. And, oops, I'm just finding the center across here. And you've seen me make my bases like this before. There, boom. And I just love the color of that orange. That blade is so dull. I guess it's about time for me to change it out. I think I just, looks like I laser cut my way through that. Not used a bandsaw. Anyways, base cut out. Seen glue ups before. We'll just do part of this ring, probably this whole ring, because I got to walk around the workbench to stop recording the camera. So you'll get this ring, and then I'll bring you back once the glue up is all done. I'm closing in on 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate you guys. Once I get to 1,000, I have reached out to Tom over at X Wood Paste. He has agreed that we can do a giveaway. So we're going to give away a kit of the X Wood Paste and restoring wax. I'm excited to give you guys that opportunity. We do unfortunately have to limit it to the United States. So I apologize if there's many of you that are OUS, but that is one of the limitations with this giveaway. So all you have to do is in this video and in the next video, because I think I'll be at 1,000 either, probably in one of the next 2 videos. Just leave a comment to let me know you're watching. Use the hashtag 1,000 subs. Let's change that. Probably a lot of people doing that. Let's do hashtag 1,000 subs for John. And that way I know how to find you, because those drawing websites ask you for a link and then for a hashtag so they know which comments to pull from. Anyways, I appreciate you guys and gals that are out there watching my videos. Hopefully you're enjoying them. I don't claim to be a teacher of any kind. You get to see me fumble through lots of mistakes. I appreciate it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the giveaway. So let's get on with this glue up. Last one. We are done with the glue up of the segments. So I'm going to let this sit here, and we'll come back later to get these faces all cleaned up, run them through the drum sander, and get everything glued up so we can get turning. Hopefully we can get this bowl finished tomorrow.
Thousand years later.
Well, it's been a few days since I've been out in the shop. Managed to catch some kind of bug. But here we are, back with the glue up. A little bit left over, runny nose and a cough. I suppose it's that time of year with the weather change and pollen coming out and none of that fun stuff. All of that fun stuff? I don't know. It's sunny and 80 here in Florida today. Can't complain about that. So let's do this. Boom. That on there. Tighten it up. Let it sit there for a minute. My walls were too thick at this point, and I thought I could take them down from the inside. But I quickly realized that this just isn't feasible, and it would be better to reshape the bowl and take more off the outside. All right, I got this all finished, shaping it. I'm going to sand it up to 320, and then we have some more work to do before I finish it to get it into that final Easter basket shape that we're going for. This part's all been normal. The next part is sketch. Totally sketch. But it'll be fun. I want to thank Tom over at Axe for sending me out this kit. If you use my discount code at checkout, you'll get 15% off with your purchase. Back in the shop after a while, between being still sick, unlike I thought I was over in the last segment, and work and travel and all that other stuff, I've been out of the shop for about a week. So yeah, what do I got to do? I got to make a handle for this, and I got to complete its transformation into the basket that I have in my head. This is not the final shape. We're going to cut it in half. I know, I spent all this time making this beautiful maple bowl just to cut it in half. That's the next step. But before I do that, I got to trace out the shape of this top so I can get this diameter to make. All right, I am not going to lie. Lots of anxiety about cutting this bowl in half. But put it on my sled. I've got it locked in place with these two clamps. I got my center point marked right there. Let's go. Make this cut. Woo! Heart's beating. Let me get my breathing protection on. And we'll do it. Here goes. Try this again. Remember, folks, if you're making a cut and it doesn't feel right, stop. It didn't feel right, so I stopped. This is a saw stop. In theory, I will save my fingers, but don't take chances. All right, I'm going to try this again. Make sure I'm lined back up. All right. It didn't go so well, but lots of sanding in my future. that epically did not work. But all right, I got a lot of cleaning up to do. So we'll see how I can fix this mistake. Well, this is turning into a mess. I've got it pretty close to even. And this is the look I was going for. Stressful. I'm going to have to do some, I did some more cutting off screen, some sketchy things on the table saw that there's no way I'd record and let anyone see that I did, because the safety police would shut me down and I'd probably get yelled at by my wife. So now time for some heavy sanding. Probably go to the store and get some 80 grit sandpaper for the belt sander over there. Try to take these edges down more, get them flatter, and then see if I can figure out how to take it down, because I don't want to get myself into this cycle of take one down, take the other down, take one down, take the other down. Then I've got this nub of a bowl that is just not usable, because it's, I'll bring this up to the camera so you can see. It's close, you know, and I just didn't have it lined up right. I probably should have made a jig for it. I'm sure there's better ways to cut this down. I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments how I screwed this beautiful bowl up. We're going to keep plugging along. And I probably should have done it on the bandsaw, but my bandsaw is not really big enough. So, you know. That's where we are. I will figure this out and come back later. So I've got these edges all sanded nice and flat. I did that off camera. It's to the point now where I can glue it up and then I can sand that outer edge and even it out. It's not going to be huge. I will take off some of this finish on the outside, but that's okay. I can apply it back. And, you know, it doesn't look like a complete mess anymore. So yeah, we'll soldier on. I'll hit this with some quick and thick, because I want it to go type on quick and thick, that is. I want it to dry clear and not yellow or brown from type on 2 or type on 3. So we'll get this wiped down. I'll throw some glue on here. We'll throw it in the clamps, and we'll come back in a couple hours after it dries. All right, there's the body of it. Did have a piece chip out when I was cutting it. That kind of sucks, but I'll just sand that out. Yeah, let me get this thing sanded up. And I got to figure out how to make legs so it sits flat. But we're getting there. So I've got this all sanded up now. You can see here it's nice and smooth. The edges all line up. It's nice and flat all the way around, but it's still wobbly. So I have to build some feet that go over here. Okay, so I don't waste a bunch of wood. I've decided to make some templates out of this 1/4-inch ply. I've traced out the shape of the underside of a bowl there. So I'm gonna cut this one out, see how it fits, and then we'll cut that one to match. And if I can get this to work nice, I'll transfer that shape onto this piece of Osage orange for the feet. All right, since I'm building on the fly, I made a design change. Rather than mount feet to that, I'm gonna make this cradle. And this fits nice. I'm just going to glue these together right here in the center. Get this all waxed up and prettied up. And then I just gotta figure out how to attach the handle. I'm probably just gonna slide it to the outside and glue it in place as well. But I have to think that one over. So let me finish up this cradle, then I'll work on the handle. Almost done, almost done. All right, throw some glue on here. I got this all sanded up. Got all the bandsaw marks out of it. My clamps ready to go. My Type-On quick and thick ready to rock and roll. Let's get this on there. All right, I just gotta let it dry. I cannot say how happy I am with the way this particular piece turned out, especially after I cut it in half and I thought for sure I had a disaster and was unrecoverable. I was ready to scrap that the whole thing right then and there. So I made the basket bowl and the base cradle for it to sit in. Let me give you some final dimensions. I forgot to take some. Let me grab a quick tape measure here. We're looking at 11.5 inches long, and the actual height of the bowl portion is about 4 inches, and the whole top to bottom there is probably 8 or 9. Anyways, 24 segments per ring with Osage orange and maple. I'm just ecstatic with the way this piece turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate you coming along with me on it. Any feedback is always appreciated. Thumbs up if you like it. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down and tell me why. Because, if we're growing, we're doing good. In the meantime, keep on turning.